everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Woodmere Estate Revival. Today we are working in the master bathroom. That's right, it's finally time to put together the master shower, hook up the sinks, put the toilet in, get the tub hooked up, all that stuff we've been waiting for from the very beginning, but everything else kind of took priority. We've been using the guest bathroom for the last however many months since we moved in, and we're ready to have a bathroom of our own. So I'm currently standing in the master shower. I've got a number of different things to get hooked up in here. We'll go over that here in just a second. And it's going to be interesting. I've never done a few of these things, so it'd be a little bit of a learning experience for me, but I don't think it's too difficult, basic plumbing stuff, so should be able to knock that out. Let's take a look and see what we're getting into. All right, so on this side of the shower, we've already got the fill valve, as you can see there, the mixer valve. And that has a selector switch basically built into it, a selector valve that allows us to switch between these three body jets and a traditional shower head and the rain shower head. So I get all those things mounted and then get the handles and everything installed on the valve itself. And then on this side, we've got a couple of options here as well. Another mixer valve with a selector valve. And then this is going to be a wand bar. So it's this guy right here in the box. The bar gets mounted to the wall, and then a shower wand hangs off of that. And then up here is just a traditional shower head and a little bench here in the corner. Not much room for more than a cheek, but a good place to put a foot if you happen to be shaving your legs, which I don't, but Amber might. Then on both sides here, we've got some niches for soap and all that good stuff. So that's the basic layout of the master shower. And here you can see the flange, and the pipe is hiding behind that box there for the toilet. And then we've got the soaker tub. And then we've got double sinks here that we got to get hooked up as well. I'm gonna go ahead and get started in the shower and knock this out first. What I mentioned there that I hadn't done before, these body jets I haven't done. We got to have a short brass nipple come out of the wall there, and it can extend no more than a 1/4 inch. And then there's a fitting that hooks onto that. This little guy here, that fitting threads onto the end of the nipple. And then there's like a quick release coupler on the end there with a couple of O-rings. So I got to make sure when I install the nipple here that it doesn't extend out more than a 1/4 inch, otherwise the little decorative flange won't cover up the cut edge of the tile. So got to work on that. And then these are a little easier up here. This is just a standard shower head, and our shower heads came with the chrome neck that screws into the wall. And then the rain shower head, same thing, it came with its own nipple that screws into the ceiling there. So start working on the body jets first and then move on to everything else, since I think that's going to be the tricky part. The wand bar is going to be a little tricky as well. It's got to have a short nipple screwed into the wall here. And then the thing that makes me most nervous is actually going to be drilling into the tile to get the bar mounted. So that's going to be a little bit nerve-wracking, but should be able to get that knocked out without too much fanfare. All right, so let's get started. Okay, I just unscrewed all the iron nipples with caps to expose the brass elbows that are inside the wall there. And went ahead and mocked up this one and found out a couple things. One, I found that the 1.5 inch brass nipples that Amber picked up for me the other day are going to work just fine. The other thing I figured out is that I've got to trim this tile back just a little bit. So you can see where I marked it with a Sharpie. The little collar that the body jet sits on actually needs to screw in just a little bit further. So I've got a grinder for my Dremel tool that works on ceramic tile. So I'll actually be able to grind that back just a little bit. My fear was that in trying to tighten it up, I was actually gonna crack the tile, and that would be a nightmare at this point. You can see here, I've got to trim a couple of the edges there as well. And then down here, just trim the edge just a little bit to make sure that everything fits like it's supposed to. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my grinder hooked up, the little Dremel, and get the shop vac so I can vacuum up any dust and tile bits, and then we'll go ahead and try to fit that in there one more time. All right, so the Dremel tool with the ceramic cutter on there did a nice job. You can see it just removed just enough material there and it kept it rounded off nice and smooth. And same thing here, removing material from around the edge there and around the edge there, just to clearance it a little bit to make sure nothing was going to hit once I got everything threaded in there and secure. So I'll go ahead and thread the nipples back in there and get the little, whatever they call those things, attached for the body jet. Once I get that on there, I'll be able to go ahead and get everything fitted. Now I've got to put just a little bit of grout there, just to kind of seal that off, cover that up. And then these actually, the little collars that go around the base of the body jet, they actually get caulked in place. They have a gasket on them, but it does recommend going ahead and putting a little clear silicone around the base of those too to make sure that everything is nice and watertight. This is the piece that gets threaded onto the little 1/2 inch nipple there. And then the body jet itself goes over top of that. So that works out pretty well. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the brass nipples threaded in there and get Teflon tape on there and get those collars threaded on, and we'll be ready to assemble the body jets. Okay, I got the nipple screwed in for the top body jet. The instructions recommend leaving it 1/4 inch proud, so you have room to screw that collar on. I'm using an internal nipple wrench. And the great thing about this, you don't worry about marring the threads or anything like that. Let me break it loose here and I'll show you what it looks like. So it's got, as you can see, the ridge is there, and then it's got that other piece that it's like a little collar. It has the same kind of ridges. And when you insert it in here, rotate it a few times until that collar kind of jams against the inside, and then it pushes against the other ridge part, which shoves it into the inside of the collar there. That's the only way that you can get these nipples threaded in like that, because there's obviously no room to get a wrench on there, and you can't put a pipe wrench on the threads. You'll totally jack them up. So you got to have one of these little internal nipple wrenches, and they're pretty inexpensive. I got this set from the local big box place. It came with a 3/8, a 1/2, and a 3/4. So they're pretty inexpensive. They got another design too that it's got these splined leaves or jaws that when you put the inside the pipe and then turn a nut on the outside, it expands those out and locks against the inside. I like this one a little bit easier. They're kind of a pain sometimes. Some people don't like them because they'll slip, but it's easy to get in, get out, does the job. Also good if you got a broken off fitting. Sometimes, you take some old iron pipe or something like that loose, and it's rusty and it'll snap off. So, or brass, same thing. And you can use this on the inside to get the remnants of the threads out. Those are a pain to deal with. Always recommend lots of heat if you can do it, because that sure makes it easier to come apart. All right, so I got the first one on. So we'll go ahead and get the collar threaded on there. And as you can see, I've already got the Teflon tape on there, and I did that before I even put the nipple in the wall, because I knew that once I got it on there, once I got the nipple in the wall, it was going to be recessed back in there, and that was going to make it a pain to get the Teflon tape put on there pretty. So I went ahead and did that before I put that in the wall. Should make it easier to get this thing assembled. So I'm going to go get the collar, we'll put that on there, and then go ahead and repeat on the rest of them. All right, we got the first one installed, and man, does it look good. Toughest part was getting the dimensions and everything right, cleaning out the hole for the nipple, and getting all that stuff ready. Once that was done, it was pretty easy to assemble. Just had to thread the little coupler onto the end of that brass nipple, and then just assemble the escutcheon spring and put the head in place. Once you get that on there, there's just a little set screw that tightens it in place and keeps it from flying off at you. So, got to repeat that 2 more times, and then we'll be ready to install the shower head and the rain shower head. Exciting stuff. Okay, we got the 3 body jets installed, and they turned out really, really nice. A little bit stressful trying to get everything set up, but once I got through the first one, figured out how everything went together, and I got the length of the nipples and all that stuff sorted out, was able to knock the rest of them out pretty quickly. So those look good. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to installing the shower head and then the rain shower head. Once I finish that, I'll go ahead and do the mixing valve and the diverter. Install the controls on that. And then we'll move to the other side. Similar process over here. Got to do this traditional shower head here, mixing valve and diverter there, and then the wand, the bar on this side. That's the only challenging thing on this side is actually having to drill into the tile to get that thing mounted. So that freaks me out a little bit, but I've got some good diamond bits. Should be able to get through there, no problem, and get that thing mounted. Not too big a deal, but a little bit stressful drilling into that brand new tile. All right, so we're moving on to installing the shower head. And on this side, we're going to be using a 2-part Delta shower head. It's called the Intuition. And it's got a wand and a shower head, which can be used together, separately. All sorts of interesting settings on there. Should provide lots of options. And right now we're going to install the shower neck, and there's a little ring that goes around the bottom there and a scutcheon that covers up the hole in the tile. So we've put our Teflon tape on there, and as you can see, it's not quite straight, but it's as tight as I can get it by hand. And so sometimes you run into this where you can't quite get it rotated in position, but it's already pretty snug and you can't rotate it anymore just by hand. So a lot of times I'll use the padded handle on my channel locks to move it that last little bit. So you just slide the handle up into your shower neck there, and then that gives you a little bit more leverage where you can turn it just a little bit more to get it straight. Now, that looks really good right there. So you're not really twisting this thing in as tight as you can get it. That's what the Teflon tape's for. You want it to be snug, so you turn it by hand till it gets snug, and then you can put your padded handle on your channel lock pliers in there to give it that last little twist and get it straight. So I'll go ahead and put the escutcheon on, and then we'll go ahead and mount the shower head. So I was getting ready to install the escutcheon that came with the shower neck, and it's got these little tabs on the back. They're supposed to make contact with the side of the shower neck and keep it snug, but when I put this one on, it was pretty loose. So it was just kind of flopping around a little bit, and I was worried over time it was going to rattle and eventually work its way away from the wall. So you can actually take your channel lock pliers and just very carefully bend those in just a little bit so they're actually closer to the pipe. And you can turn those in just a little bit, and that will snug it up on the pipe and keep that thing from sliding and rattling around. So just another little trick there. So let's go ahead and get this up on here. See if that's tight enough. Sometimes you gotta turn it just a little bit to get it past the threads. Yeah, that feels pretty good right there. So we'll go ahead and slide that the rest of the way up. And that's nice and snug. That's not gonna slip later on and slide down off of there, but that's nice and snug. And Lawrence did our tile work in here, and when he was doing that, he used the Schluter pipe fittings, and those are applied over top of your Kerdi board, over top of your cement board, and you seal those against the Kerdi board or the cement board, and then that provides a waterproof seal for your shower neck and things like this body jet, because it's got a tight plastic fitting there that slides over that. And so just one more way to prevent water intrusion. Ordinarily, you just saw a hole through your cement board and then maybe try to caulk it or something like that. But with these Schluter products, you get a much better fit around the pipe, and it's just a tighter seal, a safer seal. So now that we got that on there, we'll go ahead and mount our shower head, and then we'll move on to our rain shower head. Okay, we got our Intuition shower head mounted. And again, it's a 2-piece combo unit. It's got the arm and the separate wand there, so that'll be real handy. Now we got to do the mixer valve with the diverter and the rain shower head. I think I'll do the rain shower head next. Can't wait to see what that looks like.
Looking good.
Yeah, what do you think?
I'm impressed.
Come along pretty nicely.
Mm-hmm.
So we're ready to screw in the nipple here for the rain shower head.
All right.
Pretty exciting stuff. We're going to make use of our internal pipe wrench again.
Oh, okay. I've never seen this work.
So nice because you don't have to
Oh, you're not.
mar the finish.
Yeah. Boy, we've needed that, huh?
Yeah, we could use this before.
Cool.
Make sure it's snug.
So is the main shower head finished?
Yeah, the main shower head's done.
Okay.
Body jets are done.
Wow.
Now we're ready to screw on the rain shower head.
All right, and then the diverter?
And then the mixer diverter.
Yeah.
This
Cool.
ought to be done.
And it's on my side.
Yeah. All right, so we got everything done on this side. We got the rain shower head, the regular shower head with the wand, and the body jets, and the mixer valve with the diverter. The only thing we haven't done is snap on the little temperature control lever there. It goes right there in the middle. We may have to adjust the temperature stop once we get the water turned on and check the temperature. So I went ahead and left that off because it's kind of a pain to get on. So we'll leave that off for now. We've switched sides here. And now we're working on the other side of the shower. I just finished installing the base for the shower bar that'll hold the shower wand. Once I get that installed, then I'll go ahead and get the upper shower head and then the control valve with the mixer. So, making good progress here. Going to try to get the rest of this knocked out before we quit this evening. It's a great way to spend New Year's Eve. New year, new shower. Right, babe? New year, yeah. New shower. Amber shopping for mirrors. All right, I'll catch you guys up in a bit.